But first, to an abuse of power. Don't you hate it when people that you pay to do a job use that money and that position to preach their politics? Now, how often do you see that now? Invariably, it's from the left. I'll give you two examples where people should actually be sacked. The first, at the ABC. It's meant to be impartial because, of course, we all fund it. Instead, not only have some ABC staff now signed a petition demanding journalists treat Israeli spokesmen like they would Hamas terrorists, give them no more credibility than that. Check everything they say as if they're likely to lie. I'm also talking here about ABC people like Tony Armstrong and Benjamin Law and Jan Fran who've signed this disgusting petition. But then there's the ABC's Triple J presenter, Miss Kanina, who has now gone further. She identifies as Aboriginal and has hijacked her own show to preach support for the Palestinians and call for an end to Israel from the river to the sea. This is from a show on Thursday.
We just took a little break away from that energy to listen to the track we just played. It was a very important track, Long Live Palestine by the brother Low Key. Now, can you guys believe that this track came out in 2011, right? That's 12 years ago. 12 years ago. Yet somehow if you listen to that track, every single thing that that brother is talking about, you would think that he wrote it yesterday, because 12 years later, the genocide, the oppression, and the continued hate towards Palestine people on their indigenous lands is wild. When is something going to change? When are we going to wake up? As an Aboriginal sovereign woman, I stand in solidarity with my brothers and sisters of Palestine. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free.
Now, the stupidity there is one thing. You know, if she's Indigenous, she must support in fact, she should support the Jews who are Indigenous to Jerusalem, if you really have to play this insulting race politics. But no, it's the Palestinians, the brothers. But to actually use our ABC to broadcast that call to genocide, used by Hamas as well, from the river to the sea, no Israel from the River Jordan to the Mediterranean Sea, I mean, that's disgusting. Show her the door. Out. The ABC really has to draw a line here. But to another example of this abuse of the power that we all give to people who then preach their radical politics. This time it's members of inner Melbourne branches of the Australian Education Union. They've distributed this poster calling on teachers to wear a keffiyeh and protest it's again on the pro-Palestinian side and the anti-Israel side, right? It really is anti-Israel. But not just protests in their own time. These union members say, for instance, well, why don't you invite a Palestinian advocate to speak to your school? We should also light up our schools for Palestine. That's teachers treating their captive students in the class like pawns in their stupid, radical political game. It's the kind of indoctrination we've seen for years in schools of global warming, for instance, but now this? At least Victoria's new Deputy Premier, who's not of the Labor left, like the new Premier and like Daniel Andrews before her, says no way.
We're calling on all teachers that hold a privileged position to teach the curriculum in the classroom, not to be inviting strangers or political activists into the class. I reiterate, this action is divisive and inflammatory, and I condemn it.
But mystery solved. If you wondered where some of those students on last week's school strike for Palestine came from with their anti-Israel ideas and total ignorance of the facts, now you know.
What do you think of Hamas?
I think they're doing a good job.
I think they should stand up for what's right. They should protect our brothers and sisters in Palestine.
What do you think of Hamas? Hamas? What is that?
I mean, you've got to ask why people in the left are so in your face like this, so arrogant, like the priests who preach politics from the pulpit, or like the cast of the Sydney Theatre Company, again taxpayer funded. The other day did a curtain call with some wearing a kind of keffiyehs to support the Palestinian side in this war of civilization. I tell you, the cult of the primitive is back, promoted by people using your money and even your children now to push it. That arrogance mixed with such ignorance.